the world's greatest podcast in America. John Reed, Cody McClure. Cody, how's Texas?
Texas is cloudy, but it's getting hot. It's
hot here today.
Is it?
Today it is. It hasn't been yet, but today, whenever I was waiting on Frank to come inside from using the bathroom, I was getting a little agitated. Just enough heat. Yeah, just enough heat to combine with the allergies acting up. It's got me in a foul mood.
Yeah, the allergies are bad down here too. I've been taking a daily allergy pill, and I don't think it's working. And I got the Dollar General brand, and I'm thinking maybe that's why, because it says that you can compare it to Zyrtec, but I don't know if it's working, and I don't know what the best pill is to take. My mom used to tell me to take Claritin, and I've had Zyrtec, Mucinex, all that stuff. I think what you can do also is just get a shot, like an allergy shot from the doctor. But
if you're watching on video, this is what I have to do when my eyes itch.
I was wondering why you were doing that. If you were going for you kind of look like Kane when he took his mask off. You remember the first time on Raw?
I wasn't watching, but I've seen the highlights.
And then he set Jim Ross on fire. That scared the living shit out of me when I was because I would have been 10 years old, I think, at that point in my wrestling watching. And, at that point, you don't know if it's still real. You're kind of I don't know that it's not real. I mean, I'd probably heard that it's not real, but also it looked real. And he poured gasoline on Jim Ross and set him on fire. I was like, whoa, that's a lot.
You're just like President Trump. Whenever Vince McMahon's limo blew up, you're just like him.
In what way?
Hunter Hearst Helmsley, a.k.a. Paul Levesque, went on a radio interview one time and said that he got a phone call from Donald that was just like, hey, is Vince okay? and had thought that Vince maybe had actually blown up in the car and died.
Is that real?
Yeah. Well, according to Triple H, it is. I mean, and it wasn't like hey, it's a political, I'm going to put him down, because this was 10 years ago. He did an interview where he talked about how Donald actually called me and was like, hey, so is Vince okay? Because they had the whole Vince McMahon is dead storyline after his limo blew up, and yeah, Trump was a little worried that the limo blowing up actually had taken Vince from us.
And that guy became president. So it just goes to show anybody can win the presidency. You just got to be popular enough.
He's also a WWE Hall of Famer. So, maybe he was just, going along with the storyline. Maybe he's just doing a part of the show. Living kayfabe.
Maybe so. Well, we should get into world politics right away. Have you seen that? And the reason I'm asking this mainly is because I haven't actually followed it and I don't actually know what's going on. But is it true that Iran fired missiles into Israel? Have you heard about this?
I saw the jokes flying on X of people saying, World War III was starting. But at this point, I'm a little too old, I think, to be drafted. A little too old, a little too chubby to be drafted. So I'm not that worried about it anymore. So if this was 10 years ago and I was 24, I'd be pretty nervous, but right now, 34, my knee's a little sore these days. My back's a little sore these days. I think I'm on the very low end of the drafted list. So if war breaks out, we'll deal with it then.
Yeah, same here. I've got bone spurs, so I won't be able to serve. But
bad allergies. Can't go out there. I got bad allergies.
I don't know if that's actually going to happen. We never have anything really to worry about because the war is not going to be on our soil. So, what does it matter? Although you watched the Civil War movie, right? How was that?
I was going to say if we have war on our soil, it'll be just us fighting each other, apparently, according to the movie. But, it's one of the movies that I have a firm disagreement with on the rating. Usually it's the other way. Usually if something will have bad ratings and I'll be like, oh, you know what? That wasn't bad. That was just a little misunderstood. That was good. People are underrating it. This one, the ratings are really good for it. And I did not have an enjoyable experience inside of it. I thought it was fine at best. There were a couple really good scenes, but I didn't find it to be very good.
Didn't really like it, huh? Well,
Nah, I've gone back and forth. At first, when I came out, I gave it I think a 5 out of 10. But really, I feel like it's a 3.3 out of 10 just because I had some high expectations for it. But if I remove my high expectations, it was probably just the perfectly average movie. I didn't like it. I don't know.
oh, okay. Well, you're probably right though, in that if we do have war on our soil, it'll come from our own people. Because I think I've told you this before, but I went to Charleston and saw Fort Sumter, and that's the big that's what they tell you there is like they built Fort Sumter to protect against enemies, and it was facing out to the ocean because they just assumed that's where the enemy would come from, but it didn't. The enemy came from behind because it was our own people. So
Damn, that's deep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I also went to the slave museum when I was down there. Like it's what's it called? It's called like the I don't know. I just called it the slave museum. But anyway, Charleston was a big slave port city, kind of like New Orleans was back in the day, and it has sort of a dark history in that way. And I thought it was kind of problematic when I went in the slave museum. No shit. When you check, when you have to pay to go in there, and it's like $10 or whatever, and you pay to go in, and they have a sound effect on the cash register, and I couldn't get over this. I've been trying to figure out how to put it in my comedy routine, but it makes a cha-ching sound, like very loudly when you put your card in. It's like cha-ching, cha-ching. Another customer at the slave museum, and like there's kind of a weird irony there. How like the cashier, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're buying another slave. It's like, can we not have that sound effect here? Like, I don't know how to make that funny, but I found it to be funny in kind of my own head. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the joke there?
It's something to do with like obviously like when a slave is sold.
Right, but what's the joke?
I don't know how to connect the two really. I don't know the joke. I just know that
The
it was.
chains clinging, the
I was
shackles hitting up against each other.
well, no, I was thinking of it like just the transaction of buying a slave. Like I don't like hearing a loud cash register while I'm in the slave museum.
Okay, so you're not relating it to slavery. You're just saying it's a fucked up happy sound for something dark and sad.
Well, it's like you're buying a slave. It's like cha-ching, cha-ching.
Well,
All right,
right,
here,
but
here you are, sir. Three
to me
slaves for you.
in my head, cha-ching was sounding similar to like chain, and a lot of
Oh,
slaves had chains.
well, maybe it's not actually funny, but it was
No,
just
no, it
like,
could be funny. It's just it's a happy sound for something pretty fucked up.
well, I'm not sure if you see what I'm saying though. When I'm talking about like the actual buying of the slaves is what I thought. Like,
Right.
it, it it's like you're going up to the cash register. It's like, yeah, I want a gallon of milk, a dozen eggs, and three slaves, please. And cha-ching, here you are, sir. Pass on through.
No, I understand what you're saying.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I
again,
understand what you're
I
saying.
it's kind
I
of
was trying to find the joke in it. I mean, it's a funny
yeah.
proposition. Yeah.
I don't know where it's at either, but maybe it's somewhere in there. Anyway, that was talking Charleston.
Great city. Other than the
Yeah,
whole slave thing.
I had another issue in a grocery store. I had a guy looking in my basket.
Oh yeah?
I went to Walmart last night and got because I needed some melatonin. I needed some dude wipes. What else did I get? Some more baby powder. Got a couple things. Just needed some items. And the fucking dude at the front, like how they have like the shoplifting guy. Like it's always like a kid who's like 20 or something, and they're like he's like looking up and down my basket, like making sure I had like three bags. I had just gotten the receipt from the self checkout, and I just made eye contact with him. Like, what's your problem? I didn't say anything. He didn't say anything, but he's just looking up and down. I'm like, what's the deal here? What are you, Mister King of stopping shoplifting? You the shoplifting monitor? Actually, that's exactly what he is. That's his job title. But they always got the yellow vest on. You know what I'm talking about?
Security at grocery
No,
stores?
no, not security. This is a specific shoplifting guy. He's got his yellow vest on, stupid little vest, looking like
Is he
like
supposed
a
to be checking
dandelion.
receipts?
Yeah, sometimes like they'll check your receipts if you got a lot, like if you got a lot of stuff. I literally had 3 bags.
I
He's
don't think I've
looking.
ever really gotten my receipt checked at a grocery store. Walmart, yes, but not at a grocery store. Typically, if I have a lot of things, I am going through the register. And of course, you're not going to shoplift through the register because they give you a receipt and they check everything. And if I have 2 or 3 things, they're already always there kind of watching the self checkout. So like they have an idea of what you've paid for. They hear you scanning. So no, I've never been checked, been bag checked at a grocery store.
What's the most
You
you ever shoplifted?
maybe you just look untrustworthy.
I don't think that's fair.
In college, I stole a breathalyzer from the CVS on campus, and I've always shoplifted really twice, and then I stopped. But I don't know what really got
The
into me. I don't know what really got into me freshman year. I got a breathalyzer for the crew, but couldn't even really use it because I didn't like properly steal the mouthpiece, I guess, on top of it to where we even got accurate readings. We were trying
you're
to see who could
talking
blow the highest.
you're talking about at UT?
Yeah.
Hasn't that CVS only been there for like 3 years, or was it an old
Oh,
CVS?
Walgreens, I guess. There was a Walgreens there.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Not the big one at the end of the strip. There's a big, like, I guess it was Walgreens, just right there next to like FedEx office or whatever it is.
Yeah, I was hoping you were going to have to admit you actually stole this 2 years ago.
No, no, no. This was 2008, 2009. This is a long time ago. So hopefully the statute of limitations is up.
You better hope so.
Yeah, if not, producer, cut this out.
You're the producer.
And I also from the Polo outlet, I stole a bucket hat one time because I didn't really want to buy it, but I wanted to wear it that night.
Yeah,
It wasn't worth buying, but I was just wanting to wear it because it was like it had some red on it, and I was going to wear my red pants. So I was like, yeah, I'll try this, and then two bad shoplifts. What about you?
it's neither here nor there. But anyway, I just what I just remembered though is that I did steal the cart, and I wonder if that had something to do, because you know how when the employees are like stocking the shelves at night, sometimes they leave a cart out. And there was a cart that had like a 24 pack of water in it. Like, I guess they were getting ready to stock some shelves. And I did take that cart because I
What do you
had
mean?
too many
What do you mean you took that cart? You took it where?
to pay for the stuff in it. Because when I first got there, I didn't think I was going to need a cart. And then I ended up having too many items in my hands.
That happened to me today, actually. But anyways, so what did you do? Did you pay for the things that were already in the buggy, or what did you do?
Yeah, because there was already a case of water in there. And I was like, yeah, I'll just buy that. That's all that was in it. But it was in a spot where, like, you could tell an employee put the cart there to do something with it. And I was
Somebody had
just like,
probably just left it. Well, somebody had probably just left it at the register or something. Probably was abandoned.
well, it was with another cart at the end of the aisle. So I don't know if they were getting ready to do something. Maybe that's why he looked at me funny. Maybe he's like, this is the asshole that took this case of water that we were going to, restock or whatever. But I paid for it. I paid for everything. So
That happened to me today. I have recently started working in an office with other coworkers, not
an
just the
office.
radio. Well, I mean, we have an office now, a lounge over at our new radio studio, but like we have an apparel company there too, and there's a couple of apparel workers there. And my guy Trevor, he brought a 12 pack of Coke to the common refrigerator. And one day when I was eating my chicken and broccoli, I saw the 12 pack of Coke, and I was like, "Hey, whose is this?" Because sometimes the boss man will have some in there, and I asked. He's like, "Oh, it's mine." He's like, "Yeah, you could have some whenever." I was like, I'll restock it. Don't worry." I was like, I'll bring some for you too, and we'll split. And I had like 3 of them last week, so I know he was probably like, "This son of a bitch. If he does not bring any Coca-Cola to replenish the 3 cans that he took from me, we're gonna have problems." So today after the show, I got lunch, and then I went into Kroger to replenish the Coke. But for some reason in my head, I was like, I don't need a buggy. I'll just get a 12 pack. And then you get there and it's buy 2, get 1 free. And
Yeah, yeah.
these fucking things are $9.99 now.
It's insane.
They have finally made the Coca-Cola as expensive as the Coca Aina and just
Not quite.
and really like cigarettes. You know, it does feel like it's as much of a financial commitment as cigarettes almost, and it's unhealthy. So maybe I should use it as a reason to quit. But long story short-ish, buy two get one free. I was like, fine, I'll buy two and then get one free. That way, you know, the price per is fine. I'd rather pay $20 for 3 12-packs versus $10 for 1 12-pack, and I can't go back into the office without that 12-pack of Coke. So then I'm having to walk through all the way in the back with 3 12-packs, just kind of cradling them, and they're like falling. I didn't get a buggy, and I'm like, what do I do here? And then there's one of those buggies that has a bunch of stuff in it, and I was like, do I just throw it on top of there and carry it to the top? I was like, no. I was like, if I drop it, everyone's going to laugh at me. Everyone's going to be like, wow, look at this guy. He thought he was such a tough guy carrying 12-packs, and either way, I made it up, but I had a similar dilemma. But I did not use the buggy that someone else had up there. I just kept carrying it to the self-checkout.
You could theoretically get a workout in Walmart if you wanted to, like a free workout. You could just walk around the store with 12-packs and, you know, then go put them down. And you could even do lunges, I guess, with the 12-packs if you wanted to.
If you get the big refillable water jugs and start walking around with those, you work on your grip strength. Those are about probably 20 pounds each. You can get a pretty good sweat in. But then my dumbass, I got the most condescending help from an employee there as I'm doing self-checkout. I scanned my 12-packs, and it says $31, $32, and I'm like, okay, I put my phone number in, of course, my Kroger card, and I was like, okay, is it not going to take the one free one off? And I wait for him, and he comes over there, and he's like, you have to hit pay now. And then I hit pay now, and then it went down. No, I don't think so, but that's just the vibe he gave me in terms of the exasperation. Not that he liked men. He might have liked men. I don't know, and I don't even know what really seeming gay is. You and I could be gays for as far as we know. Like,
well, you said he's kind of like dramatic about it. Like
he was dramatic. I mean, straight people can be dramatic. I've been dramatic in my day,
but it's usually like a gay guy, you know. Just I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean. It's going to give you some lip like that and I don't mean any pun there, but I mean it's going to give you some lip at the register.
He said, "You got to hit pay now."
When I hear you sigh, I think gay. I don't know why that's
straight people can sigh.
Yeah, but not at the register, not at the cash register like that.
I don't know. I feel like working with the public, they had him running around. You know, he was the only man manning the self-checkout, and the self-checkout used to be a lot more low traffic, a lot more, you know, a lot lower volume. But now they basically make you all go to the self-checkout, it seems like.
Yeah. They got one employee if you're lucky, and she's there for the old women who don't know how to do the self-checkout. And if they're lucky, they get that one employee. You know, it's ridiculous.
So he was fed up. He was fed up, and he said, hit the pay now. And then I did, and then the $10 came off, so everything was okay.
Everything worked out fine.
And my new coworker was like, hey, thanks, man. Well, he was on the phone. I just said, hey, I got the Coke. I had it under my arm. I said, hey. He said,
yeah. Very exciting.
Yeah. So now we got a good thing going, me and him.
Yeah, so now y'all are just going to drink each other's Cokes and do that thing where you replenish, and one guy doesn't replenish as often as the other guy does.
No. I have a lot of confidence in this guy. But once, you know, we're going to play it by ear. He bought the first one. I bought the second one. It's on him to buy the third one if he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, you can do that, I guess. I mean, that's easier. I like that system better than just like putting your name on stuff. I don't like that as much.
You know, if other people start getting it from us, we'll have to, you know, visit that. But yeah, like, you know, I'm not used to the office. I only worked in an office one other time, and it was, you know, I don't think anybody was really, it was such a big office. I don't think anybody really was able to like leave stuff in the fridge. It was pretty much you bring your lunch that day and you can put it in there if you want. But I almost never did that. So I don't know what the rules are. You know, I hear people stealing people's stuff and stuff. So like, I don't want to write my name on it either. Like you said, I don't want to label each one JR, each 12, you know, each can in there. So whatever.
When you start doing that, you'll really feel like you're working in an office if you have to start doing that. Is there any good-looking trim over there? Any good-looking women in there?
I can't talk about my coworkers like that.
Well, they're not really your coworkers, are they? Aren't they it's kind of a sister company?
What I will say is that there's a girl in the back that I know you would be all over.
Oh, she got like tattoos and dirty feet?
I don't know what her feet look like, but you would be all over.
Septum piercing?
You would be all over.
Yeah,
You would be all over.
skinny,
You would be all over.
kind of hippie like hair under the armpits, kind
I
of.
don't know what's going on under her armpits or whatever, but I feel
You could
confident
ask.
that I feel confident that you would be happy when she walked in the room.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll have to come visit sometime, maybe check out the studios. I was hoping to do that before I left last week, but I didn't get a chance. We were late doing our podcast, so I had to get to the airport. But anyway, I had a bad experience at the Chinese restaurant last night. I got some
What
Chinese
happened?
food. It was terrible. I got some Chinese food, which I like to do sometimes on Sunday. Not every Sunday. I don't do it all the time, but from time to time, I like to eat Chinese food on Sunday. This place, they put corn in the egg drop soup, and I couldn't think of a more unnecessary thing to put in the egg drop soup. I mean, corn's one of those things that unless you're eating it off the cob, you don't really need it in anything. I take that back. I do like cream corn.
I was
I
going to
like.
say corn seems unnecessary at all points because there's no nutrients in it and it's not tasty
That's
enough
not
to.
true. That's been debunked because I used to hear that too. So one time I Googled it, and it's actually not true. It actually does have nutrients. You can live off corn because I heard the same thing. I used to tell people that too. I'm like, corn has nothing in it. It's like eating water, but it actually does have some like vitamins and minerals and whatnot.
Oh well, excuse me, I guess.
Yeah, I just want to be correct in our our reporting about corn. My mother loves corn. I think it's her favorite food. In the summer, she's all about getting that fresh corn on the cob from the.
I'd like to see your mom work a corn on a cob.
Well, she has those things that you put in the ends, so she just eats it like side to side. She doesn't like, she doesn't, she doesn't hold it or she doesn't do anything with it that you'd be thinking about. She just kind of nibbles on it from side to side.
Mm.
Anyway, who puts corn in their egg drop soup? I thought that was crazy, but overrated. I won't go back to the Walking Express.
They have lost a potential.
Okay.
They have lost a potential top 5 customer of theirs.
Yeah, it wasn't my
That
favorite.
must hurt. That must hurt when they say you come in. They're like, "Oh baby, here we go. We got a new regular. If we can win this guy over, we're gonna be set. This is gonna be a new good customer to bring in. It's like a good radio customer. You're like the title sponsor of Chinese food customers, and then you drop the ball. You didn't do a good
Well,
enough job, and they drop off.
I'm gonna spend $30 when I go to a Chinese place. I
Well,
will
that's my
spend.
exact point.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I will spend between $25 and $30 depending on your prices because I get. Here's what I do. I get either sesame or General So, depending on which one. Some places offer one or the other. Most places have both, but sometimes I alternate. Sometimes I prefer General So. Sometimes I prefer sesame. I'll get the sesame chicken or General So with fried rice. I'll get like an order of spring rolls or pork egg roll if you have that. If you got egg drop soup, I'm getting a small egg drop soup. I'm getting cream cheese or crab ragoons, and I'm getting pot stickers if you got them, preferably steamed. So I drop some cash at Chinese restaurants, and I get all this stuff because I was so used to Chinese buffets growing up that now when I eat at like a real Chinese restaurant, I want more than just like two things. So I do. I get every appetizer. I get dumplings. I get like crab ragoons. But anyway, this place, the sesame chicken was dried out. You can always judge a Chinese restaurant on their sesame chicken because if it sits too long, it gets like crunchy and it's really gross. It's really gross if it's not fresh. So I won't be going back to Walking Express. You
Eat
get it?
shit, Walking Express.
Do you get it? WOK. It's like Rockin' Express, but it's Walkin' Express. WOK because they cook in a wok. You know what a wok is?
I mean, I know it's a Chinese food, like or
It's
a
not a
Chinese.
food.
Well, I know, not. I wasn't gonna say a food. A Chinese. It's related to Chinese food. I don't know what it is, but I know it's related. Like we have like China Wok. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
China Wok that I assume so I always just associate it with Chinese food. I don't know what it is though. No.
It's like a big pan. It's like a skillet, but it's bigger than a skillet. It's for
Is that what
stir
they put all the
frying.
rice in?
Yeah, they cook rice in them. They cook a lot of stuff in them. It's
Oh, okay.
like you do like big stir fries and stuff in them.
Yeah.
But
I didn't know what it was, but I just associate with Chinese food.
yeah, well, I don't
So
think
I
Austin
don't.
is really known
So
for
you
its.
think it's related to Rock and Roll Express? I just thought it was like Panda Express. We're gonna get it out to you really fast.
Oh,
That
maybe.
yeah, that's what I thought it was.
I thought they were going for like a. It's like you're saying Rockin' Express, but it's Walkin' Express. Like I thought
I
that's
don't
what
know.
they were going for. And normally they replace ours. They're not a big fan of ours.
What if they
So
went walk in egg roll express, like walk in egg roll express,
egg what?
egg roll, egg roll, rockin' egg roll, egg. And it is kind of tough actually when you say them together. Walk in egg roll.
Walkin' egg roll.
I'm not doing that on purpose. My voice is just getting stuck there.
Well,
Rock
they
and egg roll.
replace. That's what I'm saying. They replace the R's.
Well, when you
It's a
start putting
thing.
them together, it's a little tricky.
Yeah, yeah, it can be for sure, especially if it's not a native language. So anyway, Madonna's been in town the last 2 nights. This cunt. She last night the Madonna show over at the Moody Center. They
Well,
opened.
hold on. How many people sit in the Moody Center?
It's like an arena. It's like I don't know,
Madonna's
16,
still doing
18,000,
20,000
whatever.
people. Really?
Yeah, this is a big new like nice arena. They used to have this place here. I don't remember the name of it. Irwin Center maybe, but they're tearing it down. They're like demolishing it and they've built this big new nice arena. And so they're getting a lot of concerts in there. Last week there was Tyler Childers and Tim McGraw, and then Madonna's here 2 nights. She was here last night and tonight. And this bitch she has the audacity at her advanced age to start her shows like 3 hours late. So I was trying to drive for this concert, trying to drive for the surge, the extra money, and I just went home because like I have a long commute home, and her concert didn't end until like 1 a.m. So I picked up a couple of people who had gone for like half the show, and they said that the doors open at 7, and she didn't go on till like 10:20.
I would be
Her,
so mad sitting in there trying to keep my buzz, drinking $15 drinks, waiting on that old whore to come out. And I imagine most of the people that go to it are fairly old themselves. So, like, who the hell wants to stay up till 1 o'clock on a work
well,
night on a Sunday night to watch her?
well, these
That's
girls were
that's bad.
young. They were like 30, but like
Okay.
she's like
Yeah, but
iconic.
that's not that young, honestly. At 30, I don't want to be up at after 1 o'clock on a Sunday night either.
No, and
I
they didn't
understand what you're
either.
saying. It's not a 50-year-old like I kind of painted the picture, but like 30 is still too old to be up at 1 o'clock on a Sunday night,
Well, that's what
unless you're
these
the Cotton Eye
girls.
Joe.
That's what these girls were telling me too. They felt the same way. They most people got to get up and work in the morning. Some people got to get a babysitter or whatever. Like it's not that easy for some people to go to some of these shows. And I just thought it's pretty rude of Madonna. But they said that she's kind of known for that. I guess like she's a late starter. But here's another thing they said that I thought was weird: is the place was hot like inside the arena, everybody was sweating and like profusely, like excessively hot. And they said that Madonna requests the AC to be off in the arenas. I don't know if that's true. That's what these girls told me.
I don't know, man. How old is Madonna? 65?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
I mean, your iron gets low, and women are already, more preconditioned to be cold than men, anyways. But like when you get older, it probably gets worse.
Well, yeah, but she's up there dancing around and stuff. Surely she wouldn't be
I
shivering up
don't
there,
know.
man.
I don't know. She ain't got no fat on her. I bet she does get pretty cold up there.
I don't know, but that would add to the like. I don't give a fuck how iconic you are. You put me in an arena with 16,000 people and I'm sweating and you're making me wait 3 hours before you come. I wouldn't even do that for the Stones. I might, but I wouldn't. I wouldn't like it.
I like how you immediately argued with yourself and took it back.
I
Your
wouldn't
big
do it for
statement.
anybody else.
But I was gonna say, like, feels like it's kind of just on you if you're going out on a Sunday night to watch Madonna in 2024. I understand she's an icon. I get it. But you're rolling the dice. You're rolling the dice with an old woman like that, an old diva like that.
Yeah, diva. That'd be a good word. Good word for it, I think.
Would you go see Madonna?
Nah, I'd have no interest. It's just not my jam.
Even knowing that she's a legend?
Nah, I don't even know any songs.
What if
I
it was
mean,
the last one? What if it was the last one ever? What if it was the absolute last concert she ever did, her retirement concert?
wouldn't care.
I
Is
might go if it was her absolute last one.
was the ticket free? Like,
Yeah, if the ticket's free and it's her absolute last one, I
uh,
would go to it.
I still don't think I would. I really
I
care
wouldn't travel
nothing
for it.
about
It'd have to be
Madonna.
in Knoxville. Like I'd have to be in the city. I wouldn't leave. Like I wouldn't inconvenience myself. But
I
like
care
if she was just
nothing.
in Knoxville regularly, like just on a regular night, I wouldn't go even with a free ticket. But if you told me it's the last time she'll ever perform ever, I would probably go.
If you ask me how much I care about Madonna on like an earthquake scale, like a Richter scale, it might not even register. Like I don't even know if you'd feel the ground rumble, and that's how little I care. And I'm not shitting on her. I got no problem with her. I don't know anything about her. I know she was a big pop star in the '80s. I don't think I could name two songs. I know she has one that's called "Like a Virgin." Isn't that one of her songs?
Yeah,
I don't think I've heard of another one. I mean, I've
come
definitely
on,
heard. I've definitely heard them. Like if you played it, I
come
would know it,
on,
but I don't know the titles. Like I
come
don't know.
on. You got one more in you. She has 12 number one hits
I mean, if
on
like
Billboard's Top 100. She's got 12 number one hits, 38 top 10 hits. Surely to
well,
God, you can do more than one.
like I said, if you played it, like I definitely would have heard it, but I don't know what their titles are. Like maybe
All
if you
right.
say one,
What about there's one that is also named after a magazine, or I imagine the magazine is named after the song. I don't know
Vogue
which one came. Yeah,
she has a song called Vogue.
yeah.
Is it In Vogue or is it
It's
just
just
Vogue?
Vogue.
Okay, I don't know that song.
She's got one with Justin Timberlake
Uh,
and Timberland. 4 minutes.
I definitely know what you're talking about because that would have been like in the 2000s, right?
We only got 4 minutes to save the world.
Oh no, I don't know that.
Okay.
Sounds awful.
Yeah. Papa don't preach.
Does she do the
Uh,
one that's like, "Do you believe in
no,
love,
no,
in
no,
love?" Is that
no.
Cher?
That's Cher.
I get them confused.
So there's like a virgin. There's like a prayer.
I also don't even know what "Like a Virgin" is. I don't know how that goes. I've just heard that that's one of her songs.
Like a virgin touched for the very first time. Like a virgin with
Hmm.
your heartbeat next to mine. Yeah, honestly, I don't really like any of these songs either that she's got. I'm not a Madonna guy.
Well, what are the number one hits? Like you said, there's 12 number. Like
Yeah,
this means they would have been chart toppers, right?
yeah, no, they're number one. Take a bow, Vogue, music makes the people come together. That one was like in 2000, so you might remember that one from the
No,
music. Crazy for you. I don't know what that one is. This used to be my playground. Like a
no,
virgin,
I
live to
don't know any of them.
tell, open your heart, Papa don't preach. Like a prayer, justify my love. Who's that girl? Who's that? I don't know. That's the fucking New Girl song. I don't know what. Who's that? I don't know these either. I don't like Madonna.
Like I said, I don't know anything about. I don't know. I know she's huge, or she was huge, but I don't know anything about her.
Well, enough about that old bitch. But we are on the subject of nostalgia. Huge weekend for the '90s. I thought the '90s were kind of boom, front and center. SNL was getting talked about. Ryan Gosling had a good performance. Did you see any of it? Did you see any
Mm-mm.
of his skits?
No, he's the host.
Yeah, there was a good skit where he's dressed up like Beavis from Beavis and Butthead, just kind of randomly sitting in the audience somewhere, and the speaker's like, "I can't focus. I'm sorry, Beavis is behind you," and he was pretty funny in that one. Conan O'Brien, big weekend for Conan O'Brien.
What happened with him?
You didn't see the Conan O'Brien love affair on Friday.
I don't think so. No.
Jesus Christ, what'd you do this weekend? Just stay
Oh,
off the internet?
pretty much, yeah. I mean, I made a few notes for the show, but I pretty much just drove around town. I don't. I didn't see anything. What happened with Conan? Was he on late night or something?
Well, he did do late night like on Wednesday, but he did the Hot Ones show. Are you familiar with that YouTube series?
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that. My friends were talking about that in the chat.
And he dominated it, and he was really funny, and he blew through the wings too. Like there was no problem with that. He kicked its ass, and he was really funny and charming, and was nice to the host. And I think he kind of had a moment where everyone was, looking up his old clips and talking about how good he used to be.
I did see my friends talking about that. They said that it was like the best Hot Ones episode. It was their favorite Hot Ones episode, like the best one they'd seen or something. But I didn't actually watch it.
I don't watch them all, but I enjoyed it. I watched that one just because I saw everyone talking about it, and I like Conan, and I like the Jennifer Lawrence one. There's a couple really good ones. The Sydney Sweeney one's pretty good too, just because she's hot and sweating. But
Sure.
yeah, you had that going. O.J. Simpson, we already talked about him, but that was
He
part of the
died.
conversation.
Yeah,
The New York
R.I.P.
Knicks. The New York Knicks.
I did see they're good now. Apparently,
They're the 2 seed in the East. Yeah, they won a big
Yeah.
game on Sunday. The Garden was rocking. We still got The Rock and WWF in the forefront. Like the 90s are back, baby.
Was Spike Lee there for the big Knicks game?
I would imagine so.
What's their full team name again?
Huh?
They call them the Knicks, but it's short for something. What is the full name for the New York basketball team?
I'm unfamiliar.
I swear the Knicks is short for something, but I can't remember what it is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I was hoping you would say it because I don't remember it.
The Knickerbockers.
Do you think British people like ever feel weird when they're talking about their I can't even say it without like because they're like
Is this so ingrained in your vocabulary you're nervous that you're going to have a Freudian slip?
I go with trousers when I'm doing a British guy talking about his pants. I say, my trousers. But they have that other word. It's like very similar to another word. It's like one letter off that, if somebody heard you mispronounce it, it might be a problem.
It's not one you want to do in your accent either. That one that you're not like really familiar with. Like, if you said it in English, I think you'd be fine, but not the Queen's English. You don't want to speak the Queen's English and say
I bet the Queen said it a lot. I bet that was one of her favorite words.
Yeah, I'd say you're right.
I spilled my espresso in the Starbucks Saturday.
Did everyone look at you?
Yes, it was very embarrassing. Because
how much shame did you feel? Walk me through how much shame you felt.
I left. I walked out immediately.
You just got up and dipped?
Yeah, this Starbucks I go to, the drive-thru was closed. Like I pulled up and there's no cars there. I'm like, wow, this is a rarity. I'm going to be first in line. And they had a sign up that said drive-thru temporarily closed. I'm like, fuck. So I had to go in the store. So with the drive-thru closed, of course the store was jam-packed with people, as you would expect at a Starbucks. And I finally got to the front of the line. I finally ordered my drink. I got my shaken espresso, and I went over there to stir my side espresso, and I knocked off my cup into the floor, and it spilled right by the trash can. And I walked out. I didn't look at anyone. I didn't look at the spill. I didn't ask for cleanup. I just left.
You just got out of there.
I walked right out. And then...
Wait. You said you didn't even try to help clean up?
I didn't do anything. No, I was too embarrassed.
That feels a little fucked up.
Well, I was embarrassed. What do you want me to do?
To help clean.
I didn't want some guy giving me an ear beating, I didn't want to
I don't
go
think
up
they would have. Accidents happen. I don't think they would have given you an ear beating. I think it's a little messed up to not help.
Yeah, it's, the right thing to do would probably be to tell them, hey, I've had a spill. But I didn't want to, there were already people looking at me, and I was like, I got to go. I got to get the fuck out of here. It's embarrassing.
Feels kind of messed up. Feels kind of wrong.
Well, the thing that was really messed up was my shaken espresso, so I had to go down the road like 10 miles and get another one. So that's 482 I'll never see again.
Can't hide money. I would have been so mad if I was that worker.
That's
You
their
basically
job.
you basically pulled a super bad
It's their
when
job, though.
McLovin goes in there and drops all the beer, and the guy comes by and he's like, "Oh man, somebody should pick this up." And the guy's like, "Oh fuck my life." That was you, just leaving a mess and just completely leaving it.
Yeah, but I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything sarcastic to the employees. I just left.
I got such a problem with that mentality. Every now and then you'll say something where I'm like, wow, Cody's just kind of a piece of shit. And this is one of them.
Like when I told you about how I pee on the women's toilet seats if I have to go in a gender neutral bathroom or whatever.
That, all the bullying you did back in the day, like just certain things where I'm like, man, this guy that I consider a close friend is a real asshole.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
People that don't return their shopping cart.
No,
people that don't return their shopping cart.
It's funny you say that because I normally do return it, but last night I didn't. Normally I do. I get the because it counts toward my daily steps. I try to get my steps in, so I always return my shopping cart. But last night I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, fuck it, put it in the handicap stall.
Was it pouring rain?
No, it wasn't raining at all.
You put it in the handicap parking spot?
Well, I got lucky.
What are they supposed to do if they pull in and they can't just easily get out and move it sometimes?
Well, just use your car. Just nudge it out of the... It's got wheels on it.
You're an asshole. You're an asshole.
I always return it. I've got like a 97% return rate. Last night
That's too low. 97% is too low. It should be 100%.
My feet were hurting. I'd been walking around the store. I was like, I want to go home.
It should be a 100% return rate.
I had the bad experience at the Chinese restaurant. It wasn't my best night, you know?
Do you ever wonder whenever bad things happen to you if it's just bad karma?
Sometimes. Plus, yesterday kind of sucked because I had to deal with a bunch of disgusting men, which is, I hate driving around dirty men. I prefer dirty women. But they had the MotoGP event here this weekend. So I had a lot of really sweaty dudes in the car picking up from the racetrack, Guys been baking out in the sun all day watching motorcycle races.
I'm sorry, I just can't get past you not taking your cart back. You don't. I know we've already talked about it. You're not someone who picks up the toilet seats. We just talked about it again. You don't pick up the toilet seat. You just piss. You just piss all over the toilet seat.
No,
you're saying the gender neutral ones. I am fairly confident you just do it in the men's bathroom too. Just piss all over the toilet seat.
It's my way of giving women equality. Women want equality, and so they should have a piss-covered toilet seat like all men do. Because every time we go in a public restroom, we have to deal with a piss-covered toilet seat.
No, we don't. We don't always have to, unless assholes like you do it.
No,
and I know you don't just do it in the
first.
gender neutral ones either. I don't buy that for a second. I know you piss all over the men's toilet seats too.
Wait a second. I'm never the first one to do it. Can I at least say that? Because if it's a clean bathroom, I try to get it in the water.
But you don't pick up the seat.
Yeah, if it's clean, if it's like
clean, do you pick up the seat or not? Because you said you try to get in the water. What do you mean you try to get in the water? Like, how do you not successfully get in the water with the seat up?
Here's the thing. I don't always wash my hands when I go to a public bathroom, so I don't want to touch a lot of stuff. So a lot of times I don't flush. And I don't want to pick up. I'm not going to touch the toilet seat if I'm not going to wash my hands. So
see, that's ridiculous. That is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, and it makes me mad. Have you ever heard of picking it up with your shoe?
I don't want to get fecal matter on my shoes.
There's no fecal matter on the bottom outside of the not of the bottom outside. No.
Yes, there is. You'd be shocked. It's the same reason I don't use those hand dryers in bathrooms. Have you never seen the studies? They're covered in fecal matter.
Then why not just not go into the bathroom? Because you kind of have to make an agreement. You have to make an agreement. You have to understand that going in the bathroom at all is going to have some fecal matter in it. It's a bathroom.
I have to
You don't think
piss.
the floors have piss and shit on them when you walk around the floors? Do you drop a paper towel on each step? Do you map it out like you're trying to avoid lava, or do you get in there and you walk on the bathroom floor?
Well, if I'm being honest, I prefer to just piss in an alleyway or behind a tree. Like, if I can, if I'm in an area that doesn't have a lot of people and like security cameras and shit, I'll just piss off in the grass. That's what I prefer to do because that way I don't have any problem. I don't have to touch door handles or anything. But you realize this is a circle of events, okay? Because the hand dryer is covered in fecal matter, to wash my hands, I'd have to walk out with wet hands. I don't like doing that. A lot of these places also, sometimes you have to touch the sink handles. Sometimes there's no soap in the dispenser. So I make a conscious decision before I go in to say I'm not going to wash my hands. Therefore, if I'm not going to wash my hands, I'm not going to touch anything.
Do you
So
not look to see if they have paper towels? What if they have paper towels?
if they have paper towels and soap in the dispenser, and I use a lot of public bathrooms, okay? They're not all well equipped. If it is
I
a well
understand, but
equipped,
some of them are. And if more people treated them like public spaces that we all have to use and that we should take care of, it would be a better situation. I see what you're doing there. If you little grubby, nasty, pee-filled hands,
circle of events.
somebody can break the chain. You can be the one that stops it before it goes back down and just straightens it out. And we live in a beautiful utopia where people aren't pissing all over the seat.
I'm not a chain breaker. I adjust to whatever norms there are in
You're a
the
disgusting
society.
person. And I know you don't go check first before you go in the bathroom to see if they have paper towels. That's the biggest fucking lie about all this. You're not
No,
looking before you go into
that's
to see the situation. You're not getting an outlook of the bathroom to be like, okay, I
that's
got paper
where
towels and soap this time, so now I won't piss on the seat. No, you piss on the seat and you walk out every single time. If you get a little piss on your hands, you'll wash your hands, maybe, but usually no. I'll use Purell in the car, he says. I got hand sanitizer in the car.
I do. That's where you're wrong. I am not. You're just assuming I'm a piece of shit from the beginning. That's where you're wrong. If it's a well equipped bathroom and it's clean, if it's a Kava, for example, every Kava bathroom is spotless. They clean them 6 times a day. I do not piss on those seats. I do not because
So
they've
you bend
always.
down, pick up your hand, and pick up the
Yeah,
seat.
I take a little piece of toilet paper and I pull the seat up with that,
So if
and
you're
then
using toilet paper, why not just do it in all the bathrooms?
because I still can't wash my hands. Like even with the toilet paper guarding,
You
I
have
still.
you have hand sanitizer in your car. You just said it.
Yeah, but I prefer to wash my hands, especially if I'm about to eat.
You
And
can
I
still
don't
wash your hands. You
take
shouldn't be
this.
eating somewhere that doesn't have soap.
You're wrong at the mat. You're mad at the wrong person here. Take this up with big hand dryer. Okay, call Dyson. What is it? The Airblade, Dyson Airblade. Call Dyson and
Just
tell them
use your shorts.
I
Just
do
wipe.
if I have to in a
You're
pinch.
you're disgusting.
But if there's already piss on the toilet seat, why shouldn't I piss on it? That's what I want to know. You're telling me if you walk in one of these gas station bathrooms, one of these dirty public bathrooms, and there's flies in there and there's already piss all over the floor and all over the toilet, like you're not. What are you, a hero by being the one who doesn't piss on the seat that's already
I
covered
walk
in
out of it.
piss?
I don't even piss on ones that have piss all
Oh,
over the
come
seat.
on,
I
you
walk
gotta
out.
piss. You gotta piss. You're not gonna go in the bathroom and not piss when you gotta piss. I mean, come
I
on.
walk back out and go to the urinal. The only exception might be like a Tennessee football game that you've had to wait in line forever. I don't have time to take a moral stance there, but let me tell you, whenever I've had to shit in the bathroom at a game or something, and I go in and see piss on the seat, I'm ready to kick somebody's ass.
And
Luckily, shout out to the
yeah,
men. I gotta say, I know I've talked very bad about Cody's types of people, but they're not all out here. There are some places in life where we've all come together and we've taken care of each other. And I got to give a shout out to Tennessee baseball fans because I had to shit in about the third inning on Friday and no spots in the bathroom on the toilet seat. Great job by those people for not going in there and pissing all over the seat. Thank you, fellow Tennessee baseball fans, because I enjoyed my shit and it was very clean and I appreciate it.
now this is gonna make you really mad. But when I do have an explosive shit coming and there is piss all over the toilet seat, guess what I do? I hover because I'm not going to put my cheeks down in that piss-covered toilet seat, and wherever that shit goes will be where it goes.
Nah, I don't really have any beef with that. I've never done it. I don't hover. I don't trust myself, my body. I just
I've shit
suck
on
it up and
balls.
find.
You ever go in a public bathroom and see one of those situations, and you're like, "How did someone shit on the wall?" That's how. When you have an explosive diarrhea and there's piss on the toilet seat. If there was a bathroom attendant who just constantly kept the piss off the toilet seat, I would sit on it like a normal American. Bucky's is a good example. You go in there, you can sit right down because they clean those bathrooms thoroughly all day long.
If there were people that agreed to quit pissing on the seats, we wouldn't have to have people cleaning them every 40 minutes. Pick up the goddamn toilet seat, Cody.
Chain reaction. Life is a circle. I'm not the worst person in the public bathroom. I keep a clean bathroom clean. But a dirty bathroom, hey, you don't care about it, why should I? That's the way I look at it. I adapt to my surroundings. And if you don't invest in paper towels, I'm not going to, because I'm not going to dry my hands in fecal matter. I mean, that's just disgusting. So
move on. I'm tired of talking about it.
Okay. Well,
you've done pissed me off.
Better to be pissed off than pissed on, like the toilet seat. Am I right? Anyway, this.
So last night, were there just grocery carts scattered all throughout the parking lot?
No.
What happened to just conforming to your surroundings? So everyone else put theirs up. So why did yours not end up put up?
Like I told you, I got like a 97-98% return to cart rate.
Well, I understand, but you're just saying you do what people around you do.
Sometimes.
And you just said that everyone else had their carts put up, so I don't understand the math here. I don't understand the logic. It seems a little inconsistent.
It depends on the situation. But anyway, I tell you what I really miss. Speaking of getting a good shit brewing, I really miss chewing tobacco, and I think I'm going to take it back up again. I think I'm going to buy a can. I've been off of it since Christmas, and I miss it. I was talking to my buddies last night, my redneck friends, and they were talking. We were just reminiscing about old times, and one of my buddies was telling me, man, you know what I really miss is back in the day when we used to just chew tobacco and play NCAA football. And I miss that too. I miss chewing tobacco and playing NCAA football. And since there's a new game coming out this year, I think I might take up chewing tobacco again.
Well, there you go. I was going to say the game's coming out soon. Although, like, if you use all your money to buy the chewing tobacco, you might not be able to afford a new system. So you're going to be kind of in a catch-22 there.
And I'm going to have to keep buying these Zens because I just do these all day long. So these make me powerful. They make me like Superman, kind of. Just Zen. They're really good for you. You should start doing them. I think you'd really like them.
I don't really have any bad habits outside of gambling. That's about it.
Take up nicotine.
Nah, I'm good. I don't need them.
No, you're not good. You don't know how good your life can be with them. Like,
I gamble. I gamble too much, and
I'm gonna put another one in.
I like Coca-Cola, but like outside of that, I don't really have any bad vices. I don't have any weird things I do. No drugs. I like to drink, but I don't have to drink. I can go months without drinking if I wanted to. I don't know. I try not to do things that are bad for me that I get addicted to. Again, other than the gambling.
Have you thought about trying cocaine?
I've tried cocaine.
You have not.
Yes, I have.
I used to ask you on the radio all the time. You're always like, no, I'm not a drug guy. I've never done cocaine. You never said it on the radio.
It depends when you ask me. The first time I tried cocaine, the only time I tried cocaine was in 2020. So I think you were probably gone by then, actually.
During the pandemic?
Yeah.
Did you develop a habit?
No, I just did it one night.
By yourself or with people?
No, a woman came over. She brought me some.
Oh, nice. Those are the best women.
Nah, it wasn't for me.
Coke women are my favorite.
Yeah, no, she's a good girl, but...
Cocaine can make a guy like me attractive to women.
Wasn't for me.
Well, it's one of the many
Out of my
disgusting
system,
things.
police, if you're listening. It was just a one-time thing. It was COVID. There were no real laws during COVID. You know what I mean?
I mean, for all we know, there could have been cocaine in that vaccine. You know,
For all we know, I
yeah,
don't
'cause
think
we don't know what was in it. Is the point?
Yeah, like, I've taken Adderall maybe 3 times in my entire life, maybe actually only twice. 3 times at most. I took an Adderall in Detroit when I got there after, not after waking up like at 3 a.m. before the Sweet 16 game. That was like the second or third time in my life I've done that. So I'm not a drug guy. If you're listening, police, it was COVID. I was going through some things. I was like, I'm gonna try some different stuff. Didn't like it. Haven't done it since.
What you really need to try is bath salts.
Nah, I'm good.
I've heard.
Still want
those
to try
are a lot
DMT
of
though.
fun.
I do still want to try DMT.
That's a weird one to be on the list. It's like,
I just want to try that. I don't know. I want to try it. I've talked about it for a while. I want to give it a go.
I don't want to try that. I don't want to be that inside my head.
I say I want to try it, but I had the opportunity to do it in Colorado last year with my friend, big drug guy. But like I feel like a pussy saying this. I was having too bad of a reaction to the altitude because we went to Denver and then went up into the mountains and stayed at a cabin, and it was kicking my ass. I felt awful.
That's what it stands for. DMT is Denver Mountain Time. So,
well, I guess it could have been poetic for me to do it there, but I was already feeling bad enough as it was. Like, I do not need to mix this new drug in here into this thing, so I didn't do it.
yeah.
So I say I want to do it, but I kind of pussied out.
Did you have any Colorado Kool-Aid when you were out there?
I don't know what that is, but no.
Coors Light,
Oh,
refreshing, brewed from a mountain stream.
Nope.
Coors Light.
I need to delete this podcast. The police are going to get me. I admitted to
They're
shoplifting in
not
2000.
gonna.
I admitted to shoplifting in 2008 and doing cocaine just once
And you
one night
also-
during the pandemic.
And you also lied about not pissing on toilet seats.
No, I do not piss on toilet seats. You'll never see me piss on a toilet seat ever,
Ever?
ever.
No, I'd say that's true. I doubt I'll see it. You're probably
You'll never
right there.
hear it. It'll never happen. You could be a little angel on my shoulder, looking over my little wee wee, seeing me use the bathroom from now until the end of time. You will not see me piss on a toilet seat. Now, sometimes at
I
night,
don't believe that.
sometimes at nights when I got to pee in the middle of the night, I have no shame. I just sit down to pee. I don't worry about turning the light on. I don't worry about having to aim. I just sit down and piss. So, like, theoretically, if I stand up, maybe like a drop gets on it, but that's, then I wipe it off and that's it. But that's it.
I don't believe that. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm telling you the
believe
truth.
if you're telling
I-
me
Go ahead.
the most disgusting gas station you can imagine. We've all been there as a man. We've all been in one of those like the Hindu 7-Elevens, and you go in there and it's like there's just stuff caked all over the walls, and there's like empty vape carpet.
I'm not going in there to
cartridges, and
piss in the first place. That's the difference. Is I'm not going in there. I
What
don't
if you
go into
have to
nasty
piss
bathrooms.
like a Russian racehorse?
I'd rather stop on the side of the road and pee. I don't find myself in situations where I wait until I have to like burst before I pee. I don't understand that logic there.
You drink. You've never had a piss so strong that you're like, I gotta piss right now.
I don't really drink and drive. I don't know what you mean I drink. I mean, I've had to piss really bad when I'm drinking, but I'm usually at a bar, so I go into the bathroom and pee.
Well, those bathrooms are disgusting. Some of them. You're
Most of
telling
them
me
have
you've never-
urinals. Most
you've
of them have
never-
urinals or
Well,
troughs.
Yeah, but
The ones
with a
I go
urinal,
to.
I have trouble with some urinals because some of them sit up too high. You got like get on your tippy toes and point your dick up. Have you ever had that problem?
No, because I'm not 5'8" like you
Hey,
are. So
fuck you! I'm 5'10" and a half.
if you're 5'10" and a half, you don't have to sit on your tippy toes to get into the urinal, buddy.
Some
No,
of them you do.
no.
Some of them are up too
No.
high. You're laughing because you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't. But if you're 5'8", I could maybe see that happening.
Don't treat me like I'm some short king. I'm 5'10" and a half. We're the same goddamn height. And
No, we're
sometimes,
not. No.
sometimes
we're
you
not.
got to get on your tippy toes a little
No.
bit and point your dick upward.
No,
That's
that's
the thing
never
you got to
happened.
do.
That's
And-
never happened.
You piss at a urinal. You think you ever get piss on the floor?
Yeah, I'm not acting like my piss doesn't sometimes splatter on the floor. Sure,
Okay.
but not on purpose, not because of negligence. Sometimes
So-
it just happens. There's sometimes some
Uh,
accidents, but no, I am never purposely pissing on a toilet seat. That's not the same as going in a urinal and having some splatter on the floor. Not the same thing at all. Those long urinals where you're standing, like where they go all the way to the floor, I hate those because pee is of course going to splatter down there. I hate those.
oh yeah, those are so gross. Why
Yeah,
do those even exist?
I
Like you're
don't know.
basically pissing on the floor, except it's going
Yeah,
in the urinal. But
I hate those. I hate those.
yeah, those are disgusting. Do you try to pee on the little pink hockey puck if they
No,
have one?
no, because then it's going to splatter. I try to aim on the side of the wall and let it run down.
I thought that was like a splash guard. I thought you were supposed to aim at that so that it.
Maybe I feel
I
like
don't,
it splatters even more off that. I don't
I
think it's a
don't know.
splash. That's not a splash guard. The pink hockey puck is like just isn't it just like a
That's supposed to be
air
like a.
freshener?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Who invented that? It's like
I was going to call it a mint, but it's definitely not a mint. Don't eat it.
It can be.
Don't eat it.
How much to eat one of those? How much money?
No, I don't need any money. I'm good.
$2 million.
No, I still don't think I would. I probably would, but I would throw up. Like if you
The
told me I couldn't throw up, I wouldn't be able to do it.
the point is, men are disgusting.
No,
They do,
no, they're not.
they do
No,
disgusting things.
we get bad
And
reputations because of assholes like you.
I had some real just dirty men yesterday. Some guys like, the type of men who are like 45 and they don't really get laid. Maybe they're married, but like their wife's not attracted to them anymore. They're like businessmen. They talk about women in the most disgusting ways. And I was giving an Uber ride to some of those guys yesterday. A couple of dudes, just like every girl we drove by, I was taking them to their hotel. They're like, "Oh boy, I'd like to fucking look at the fucking ass on her." You know what I'm talking about? Those kind of men. Like, there's a girl standing there in a sundress. He's like, "Boy, we could really use a stiff breeze, couldn't we?"
I mean, you say all this, and I'm not thinking it sounds too different than you,
Oh
honestly.
no, you think I'm going to be that guy in 15 years?
I kind of feel like you're already that guy.
No, because I'm like a single guy. I feel like those guys are married and they're just like
Oh,
not.
okay.
They're
So
not
you're
getting
worse.
it.
You're worse off. You're
I
a
don't
single
talk
guy.
about I don't talk about women that way. Not to other people. I might think that when I see a girl in the corner, but like I'm not that kind of guy that's making those comments. These are the type of guys I'm talking about. These pigs. They're verbal pigs. And they're like my dad had a friend who was like this, and we went to a Twin Peaks one time, which was mistake number one. These are the kind of guys that go to Twin Peaks, but I do like Twin Peaks. But anyway, he was making some comments like that just like disgusting comments, just things that like why would you even say that? But sometimes they're funny. It's like it's kind of like it's one of those things like if there's some humor to it, I'll still laugh. Like with the guys in the Uber, they were kind of funny, so I was kind of going along with them. Kind of like, yeah, you get that here. That's the thing with the warm climate down here. They're wearing less clothes. Just disgusting fucking men.
You repulse me.
They're the kind of guys that go to these alpha male boot camps.
No, they don't. Those aren't the same type of guy.
Have you seen those on the internet?
I saw a little bit of it, but I didn't really look into it. Surprised it took 2 weeks for those to come up. You got anything else?
I just had a note that I want to bring back restaurants with no reviews. I want to bring back, this is the last thing I had, is that I want to bring back walking by restaurants and trying them even with no reviews. Because I feel like a lot of restaurants miss out. They could be really good restaurants, but for whatever reason, they haven't taken off on Yelp, or they don't have like all these Google reviews, but they're really good.
See, I don't think places suffer from having no reviews. I just think they suffer from having bad reviews.
Well, like, here's what I'm saying is like, you go on your phone on the Apple Maps thing and you just type in like restaurants or whatever. And all these guides come up, like whatever city you're in. It's like, here's Austin's 10 best barbecue restaurants. It's like, but if you don't make that list, then I would say like 90% of people who don't know the city they're in are not going to try your place. They're going to go to one of these that everybody goes to,
Well, it gets really bad when you have to play the game to get it to, and it's not just based on merit. You got to get lucky that the right person goes in there, and you got to kiss their ass, and maybe they get a little kickback. Maybe you let them wet the beak a little bit. You're paying them for good reviews. It's all politics, baby.
Well, I just want to bring back walking by a restaurant and going in like they
Nothing's
did in the
stopping you.
old days.
Just go in.
I don't have any I can walk to where I'm at right here. Although I'm hoping to get an apartment soon in the city.
So you're going to stay for a whole year?
Yeah, I think I'll commit to a year unless something changes.
Ugh.
What does that mean?
Ugh.
Ugh. What are you repulsed by Texas?
I,
Or what?
I just figured you would quit with the facade and just give it a break.
What are
give
you
it a
talking
rest.
about? What facade?
Just leave. No, everyone knows you don't want to be there.
What? I don't mind it here at all. I like the only thing I don't like is not having my friends, but I like everything else.
I don't know. Just when I saw you in person, you were talking about how it's just the same as California, and then you had talked about how you hated California. So
I never said I hated California. I don't hate California either. What I don't like is being alone.
We're rewriting history here.
The only thing I don't like is being alone. California was tough because I didn't have enough money to live there. But, here, I mean, things are a little more affordable. I like it. What are you saying I don't like it for? I like it.
Have you been doing any dating app stuff?
Yeah. I got on the Bumble. Swiped a few on there. No, I mean, I matched with, girls that I don't really like.
How do you know you don't like them? Because they're fat?
That's right. Because they're fat.
Have you paid for Bumble Premium out there yet?
No, it's too much now. That shit used to be like $17 a month, and now it's like fucking $27 a week or something. I'm not paying for that. I don't have that kind of cash.
No, yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. I did get my flight to Vegas and my Stones ticket. I'm going out there May 9th through the 11th or something like that.
This year?
Yeah. You going to go?
No. I got Zach Bryan tickets on the 10th.
Oh, okay. Well, how's the new studio? You like it?
Yeah, everything's good. We're really taking off here. Yeah, everything's great without you. It's fantastic.
Well, that's what I would hope for. I would hope everyone's doing well without me.
Thank you. I'll talk to you on Thursday.
I probably don't even cross anyone's mind anymore, do I?
You're just on the long list of people that have come and go.
The thought of me is fleeting.
Yeah, kind of. It's kind of sad when you put it that way, but yeah, it's true.
I'll just be alone somewhere in the middle of Texas, pissing on public toilet seats. Not returning my shopping cart.
I will say it's probably good that you're not in this new studio because of how messy you were at the last one and like knowing your habits and like how much you would piss on the seat. It is nice that we don't have to worry about sharing a bathroom with you. I will say that.
Let me let you in on a little something before we end this podcast. All right, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. When all the guys at the old studio would talk about how dirty that bathroom was in there, it did not get lost on everyone on who shit on that toilet the most. All right?
I did, but I took care of it, and I never made a mistake.
You took care. All those brown splatters and hardened black fecal matter on the back of that toilet, it did not get lost on who that may have been.
Well, that's completely fine, but I wasn't given a brush. I have a brush at my house. I'll brush my toilet off. And if I had a brush there, I would have brushed it off. But like, I can't do anything about that in that bathroom. There's nothing I could have done.
The slimy brown drippings from underneath the bowl. People knew who that was. All right. That's all I'll say. Let's not talk about my dirty bathroom habits.
We just did for 20 minutes and you laughed about them. You sick fuck.